Wow, that was a power-packed intro. I mean, KGF 2021, guys, what's up? My name is Mantra, and it's just amazing to be back at Kala Ghoda Festival, virtually. There we go. We're in the virtual world already, ladies and gentlemen. I remember all the wonderful time that I've spent at Kala Ghoda Festival in the past, and I'm sure even you're missing the vibe of the live festival. I performed at the Kala Ghoda Festival a couple of years back, where we did some play reading by a friend of mine, Ajay Krishnan. He had written a couple of stories which we read on stage, with the script. It was a wonderful experience when we did that. And every time I've been to KGF Kala Ghoda Festival as just a visitor, it's always been such an enriching experience. And we're just hoping that soon enough, may we be able to get together again, feel each other, see each other, hear each other, and just get mesmerized into the vibe of Kala Ghoda Festival. So this is KGF 2021, the new age, and I am really thankful to my dear, dear, dear friend Rohini, who has given me the opportunity to come over here and speak to you guys. Rohini, as a curator, is such a fantastic person because she has been introduced to so many forms of art, and she's met so many wonderful artists that I think she's a perfect person to go ahead and curate this festival for us. So that brings us to our topic today. First of all, it feels like I've gone back to my radio days, because in a radio station, you used to be just there talking, not really conversing with people, because the listeners could not talk back. And as a we used to just keep on talking, keep on talking. But at this point of time, if you guys have registered, if you guys have really taken the pain and the effort to come over here to learn something or to just observe, then give me a shout out, give me a hands up sort of a thing. I don't know how this works over here. If you guys can, just say something on the chat room, I would understand that you're there, and I would know who all are maybe listening to us at this point of time. Or else it seems that I will. Oh, there is a lot of people, but I can't see any of them over here. All right, so we have people here. I'm sorry, guys. On my system, I can't really see much. Maybe limitations of technology, but on the other system, I'm looking at this. Aditya Tiwari, Meera, Sonam Gupta. Sonam has already been around. Aditya Tiwari, Rosie Naya. Oh, great. So I'm getting a few shout outs. Aditya Tiwari is saying, is this live? Can we ask questions? Of course, Aditya, you can ask questions. I'm sorry, it's not on my screen. I have to look at the other screen to understand this. Rosie Nair is giving a hands up sort of a thing. Anushka Jain, Manvi Pandey, Nishu T. Meera is saying all ears, wonderful. Sonali Shah, Sunil Kamble, Ashwin is saying a hello. Vidya, Rashmi Nand, Dev Kant Tripathi is saying a hi. Hey, Dev Kant, what's up? Hello, Mr. Dasgupta. Hello, Mr. Tripathi. Miss Akriti, that's a very cute way of putting it. Akriti, Tea. Rakesh Solanki, Ravi Virvani. Ravi Virvani, an old friend of mine, he's seen how the audio medium has evolved over the period of years. And Sunil Kamble says Bhaskar Bose is amazing. Thank you so much, Sunil. And yes, it's an absolute pleasure to be creating Bhaskar Bose week by week. And it's been an amazing experience creating these 35 odd cases that we have already put out on Spotify. And there is a new one coming out every week. And as we are here talking about character development, that's the base of that's the topic of today. So how do we develop characters in the audio medium? All right, the audio medium. First of all, let's discuss a bit about that, about how the audio medium at this point of time, if it has taken the kind of the rise that you hear everywhere you go. You're hearing about people doing podcasts. Podcast is a trending medium through which people are communicating. And the best part about a podcast is that it's almost like an extension of radio. I was speaking to a couple of friends a few days back colleagues from the radio industry, and they all were mentioning about how different is podcast from radio. Now, what I felt and what I really believe in is that radio is primarily music medium. People go there to listen to songs. It's and I know that a lot of people keep complaining that यार तुम लोग गाने बजाते नहीं हो, केवल ad सुनाते रहते हो और radio jockeys बोलते रहते हैं. And maybe that is the reason why ये podcast industry जो in a way India may introduce we recently, but as you all know, it's not a it's nascent in the country, but it has been around for a very, very long time. There have been some top podcasters and from the West who've been, ruling the roost since the last decade or even more. But recently in India, the upsurge of podcast listening, especially during the COVID times, Corona times, पे जितना यहाँ पर लोगों के पास टाइम था, लोगों ने खूब दबा के चीजें कंज्यूम करी, भले ही वो वेब सीरीज हो, भले वो आपके नेटफ्लिक्स अमेजॉन हो या फिर ऑडियो मीडियम के जरिए लोगों ने कंज्यूम करना शुरू किया ऑन लॉन्ग वॉक्स मॉर्निंग वॉक्स जहां पर वो जाते हैं और जस्ट डूइंग देयर डेली चोर्स द वे द ऑडियो मीडियम in a way has an edge over the video medium. हालांकि there is no comparison and shouldn't be. दोनों अपनी अपनी जगह के mediums हैं. But the fact of the matter is that the audio medium is a much more intimate form of entertainment, or the listener or whoever is listening to the podcast almost feels that he is being spoken to. It's हम लोगों को कितनी आदत है फोन पे घंटों बातें करते रहने की. When you're wearing your headphones and somebody's talking to you in your ears, lots and lots of time I've even seen people respond while they're listening to podcasts because it's as if somebody's talking to them. So first and foremost, being an intimate medium, it really works and helps podcast. So if you are trying to be a podcaster in the coming days, you need to know how to connect with your listener. And when I say connect with the listener is, are you talking his language? Are you speaking to him about something that he's interested in? And then maybe pick up a topic, or even if you have a topic which you can think that you can make me interested in while I'm listening to you. You could talk about anything under the sun, but if you can grab my attention, if you can grab my interest, then I would spend the next 20 minutes or half an hour listening to you. This is the world of podcast as we know at this point of time. But there is another world in the audio medium, which is of the world of audio fiction, the genre that I really enjoy producing because it is a genre that mixes two of my passions. One is the audio, one is radio, and the other is theater or storytelling, or just conveying a tale. So that's the reason why I made a lot of audio fiction, and in the last couple of years, we have had the pleasure of producing some of India's most popular audio dramas. We've spoken of Bhaskar Bose, which is on Spotify. We produced one of the most state-of-the-art audio horror shows, a three-dimensional audio horror show called Kali Awaze, which is on Audible Suno. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was the host of the show, and well, he's done a tremendous job. Isn't he one of the finest storytellers? And if he tells you something, you listen to him. And if fiction is something that you guys are interested in, and if storytelling is something that you guys are interested in, you need to know how to make the characters that you are representing through your podcast connect with the audience. What we do at Bhaskar Bose specifically is we pick up topics and we pick up stories which have some sort of a connection with what is happening around us. So there is a sense of relatableness with the stories that we produce for Bhaskar Bose. And with each and every character that we have produced, we have had a tremendous time getting connect. For example, Bikesh Das. And all Bikesh Das fans out there, if you are out there, you should send me a message because Bikesh Das would love it. The lovable police officer who does the most cutest things, but yet at the same time gets his job done. Now, when we created Bikesh Das as a character, we knew that we are trying to, bring in the element of West Bengal, and Bikesh Das is that as in Bengali they say Bheto Bangali, and his dialect would be of Bengal, and how that connected pan India is beautifully surprising for me. And each and everyone who has connected with Vikesh Das is because Vikesh Das has given that sort of a feeder. Uh, is anybody out there who's also speaking about this? Okay, now, all right, great. So you could tell me whenever if there is something that comes across. So Devkant is also mentioning he'd like to ask any question. Devkant, you can go ahead and do that. And yeah, so we were speaking about how characters really work on audio fiction and how you start connecting with them. We created the antagonist for Bhaskar Bose, and as you guys know, I mean, we're all the Batman fans. Any Batman fans out there who know how brilliantly the world of Batman pans out, and how we have in each series a new villain, and every villain of the Batman series has a separate fan base altogether. May it be Joker, may it be Penguin, may it be Catwoman, may it be Scarecrow, may it be Mister Freeze. I mean, you name it, and that's the brilliance of storytelling, is where you root for both the protagonist and the antagonist. So with Bhaskar Bose, we had a challenge where we had to create a character that someone who would give Bhaskar Bose a really tough time, a run for his money, and we took the inspiration from Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty, and we created our own Moriarty, and we called him Biplav. Now, Biplav, as a character, has been brought alive by this brilliant actor and a dear, dear friend of mine, Mr. Vrajesh Hirji. And as you know, that Vrajesh has been in the industry for many, many years, and he has really given some fantastic characters to us, characters that you remember for many, many years to come. Now, Rajesh brought in his own element when he started playing Biplav. And Biplav was always meant to be this crazy man whose only purpose in life is to beat Bhaskar Bose. That's it. He doesn't believe in rights or the wrongs. He only believes in one thing: how to get Bhaskar Bose's attention in one way or the other. Uh, all right. Yeah, Sunil Kamble says Biplav is crazy terror. And yes, he is. And so here you go. Characters that you develop for your series need to have consistency. That's another thing, because you may create the most brilliant character, but if you're not consistent with that character, the character will die down. I mean, ऑडियंस का जो कहते हैं ना अटेंशन स्पैन वो बहुत शॉर्ट रहता है एंड इफ यू आर कमिंग बैक वीक आफ्टर वीक यू नीड टू नो दैट यू नीड टू फीड द ऑडियंसेस hunger of brilliant characters. Like I said, with Biplav, we hit the jackpot because Rajesh Hirji just brought in such amazing qualities to him, and even our storytelling, the way our writers did a job, Asif and Obed, who are our writers for Bhaskar Bose, we really jam a lot when it comes to creating these characters, and what will they say, how will they say, and what is that visual element, or what is that character sketch that we can give to our characters, so that the listener can start imagining that character in their head. That's what's happening. The best part about this is you will all have your own Bhaskar Bose. I mean, you know that I play Bhaskar Bose, but when you start visualizing your characters, everybody has a separate vision. And isn't that the beauty of audio? Isn't that the beauty of radio? I used to say this a long time back that when there are four people sitting in the car and listening to a radio jockey, and in the good old days when there was no social media and you didn't know what your jock looked like, you would imagine, everybody would imagine different version of who they are listening to. So in a way, you're making 100 films in one film, and that's the beauty of audio. That you actually paint pictures into the mind of your listener and let his imagination do the rest. Yeah, we're getting a couple of messages. Sonali Shah says, how to say is the main thing. Yeah, that's true. And every actor brings in their own element, their own speciality. I mean, dialects work so well in the audio medium. I mean, for a connect, I'm not saying caricatures, but dialects is a USP as a director or as a creator one can use. Aditya Tiwari says, in today's date, we are adapted to almost every genre of movie, but in podcast, which genre is more acceptable? Aditya, there is no specification as such at this point of time. People are enjoying thriller with our series, as Bhaskar Bose has done very well. They've enjoyed horror. There have been a lot of horror series out there, and a lot of people have attempted horror when it comes to podcasts because, once again, horror as a genre really works very well in the audio medium because all you need to say is "Ooh," and then you start imagining because then your mind starts showing you pictures or just a sound effect in an empty space, and you will have your mind will start imagining running around and giving you your own picture, so the director or the storyteller doesn't even need to do anything. So horror really works. Thriller is a genre that has really done well. Romance as a genre has done well too. We created a series called Love in the Time of Corona, which was just conversation between two lovers. In fact, if you guys are logged on and if you guys have your headphones on, maybe I could play a couple of these characters for you, and maybe you guys could get a hang of how these characters are developed and why and how do they connect with the listener. So first up, can we do we have Love in the Time of Corona? Maybe something that we could play. So we could play episode 1 of Love in the Time of Corona. Before we start playing it, maybe just a background of of this particular series. This was something that we thought of and we conceived during the time of COVID. And in fact, it was the last week of March or the first week of April when Mishka Singh Shekhawat, who is the writer of Love in the Time of Corona and also the voice artist, she suggested, what if we have a show where two lovers, are just having their regular daily phone calls? Because during COVID times and during those days, the thing was you could not see each other, and you were stuck in maybe inside your home for a very long time. Your regular conversations, your daily conversations were something that was more appealing than anything that could have been scripted. So we developed this. We'll listen to this and maybe you can understand how it worked. Yes, Sonambi.
नोवेल कोरोना वायरस को फैलने से रोक।
हेलो हेलो,
क्यों बार बार मिस्ड कॉल दे रही हो?
अरे मिस कॉल नहीं था, तुमने आंसर नहीं किया इसलिए।
अभी रखो, मैं रात को फोन करता हूँ।
अच्छा थोड़ी देर बात कर लो, उसके बाद मैं बोर हो रहा हूँ।
क्या कर रही हो? काम करना है ना यार।
कहीं जाना है चीमा जी को? क्या काम है?
डबल काम है। वर्क फ्रॉम होम के चक्कर में बॉस पागल हो गया। बीवी बच्चों का फ्रस्ट्रेशन एक टीम पे निकाल रहा है। और मुझे वैसे भी अगली वीडियो कॉल से पहले पोछा लगाना है यार।
अच्छे से लगाना। और प्लीज वर्क फ्रॉम होम के चक्कर में नहाना मत बंद कर देना।
ये सच्ची बताना, तुम नहा रही हो रोज?
एक्सक्यूज मी, ये पर्सनल होने की क्या जरूरत थी इसमें?
शुरू किसने किया? पानी बचा रहा हूँ मैडम, क्योंकि हाथ धोने में काफी पानी लग रहा है, तो बैलेंस करना जरूरी है ना।
याद आ रही है मुझे वीडियो कॉल।
रात को करूंगा ना वीडियो कॉल, प्लीज प्रॉमिस। अभी रुको ना यार, मम्मी बार बार आके कभी चाय पी ले, कुछ खाएगा, चप्पल यहाँ रखिए, कुछ ना। अभी रुको। हाँ
ऐसे तो
क्या हुआ?
अरे सुनना, वो मेरा टीवी का चैनल बिल्कुल चल नहीं रहा है, प्लीज देखना क्या चल रहा है, शुरू कर दे।
यार मैं नहीं रहता हूँ तब भी तो खुद कर लेती।
अरे तब तो मैं कर लेती हूँ किसी भी तरह, अभी तू है ना घर पे, कर दे।
मैं बाद में करता हूँ मम्मा, बाहर चलो आप।
क्यों, किससे बात कर रहा है?
ऑफिस से बात कर रहा हूँ।
अरे यार ठीक है, उसे मेरे हाय कह देना।
अभी दरवाजा बंद करो।
हाँ ठीक है। जा रही हूँ, कर दिया के जल्दी।
समझ रही तुम यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? रात को बात करेंगे, आराम से बात करनी है मुझे, बिना पलक झपकाए देखना तुम्हें।
ये कैसा किंक है बिना पलक झपकाए? सीरियल किलर हो तुम?
तुम्हें घूरने का मन कर रहा है बस।
छी, कैसा प्यार है ये?
अरे क्या बताऊं, जो एक छोटे से वायरस के चक्कर में एक दूसरे से मिल नहीं पा रहा, बात तो कर रहा है पर हाथ नहीं पकड़ पा रहा, वो वाला प्यार।
बस ज्यादा हो गया। तुम अकेले नहीं हो जिसकी लव स्टोरी अटकी हुई है। एक मिनट रुको जरा। तुमने न्यूज देखी?
अवॉइड कर रहा हूँ यार, मम्मी देखने बैठ जाती है और फिर यू नो हाउ शी इज।
एक्चुअली डर तो मुझे भी लग रहा है। The count has reached to 760 positive cases. I really don't know यार, मुझे घर का सामान लेना है, सब्जियां लेनी है।
लिसन, तुम्हें बाहर निकलने की जरूरत नहीं है। लिंक भेजा ना तुम्हें मैंने, ऑर्डर फ्रॉम देयर, डिलीवर कर रहे हैं ना घर पे।
कद्दू है उनके पास? सर पे मारना है मुझे।
हाँ है ना, 40 रुपए का आधा किलो।
और प्याज?
50 रुपए किलो।
गोभी?
30 रुपए की आधा किलो।
और तुम?
एक लव यू में पूरा 70 किलो।
35 किलो दे दो।
अच्छा जी, आई लव यू नहीं बोलना।
एक्चुअली ज्यादा आई लव यू बोलने से ना याद ज्यादा आती है, इसलिए नहीं।
कौन सा
जी ना, मुझे लॉकडाउन के बाद भी तुम्हारा हाथ पकड़ने से डर लगा तो?
कोरोना का ज्यादा डर है या मुझसे प्यार कम है?
बात भरोसे की है यहाँ पे। तुमसे ज्यादा भरोसा मुझे कोरोना पर है। एक काम मिला है उसे फैलाने का और पूरे दिल से कर रहा है।
मुझे आ जाना चाहिए था बॉम्बे, डोमेस्टिक फ्लाइट्स बैन होने से पहले। सॉरी यार, मुझे लगा आई शुड जस्ट स्पेंड सम टाइम विद मॉम और यू नो।
कम ऑन, शट अप गाइस, ओके बी विद अस। काफी सालों बाद इतनी लंबी छुट्टी मिली है तुम्हें। इमेजिन ऑलमोस्ट अ मंथ इन दिल्ली विद योर मॉम।
या बट आई एम वरीड अबाउट यू यार। तुम अपने कजन के यहाँ शिफ्ट हो जाओ ना, जैसे थोड़ी सिचुएशन ठीक होगी फिर वापस आ जाना।
तुम्हें क्या लगता है मैं कनिका कपूर हूँ? जो जहाँ है उसको वहीं रहना चाहिए, तभी सिचुएशन कंट्रोल में आएगी।
अच्छा तुम्हें पता है मैंने आज दाल चावल और आलू बनाया, मम्मा ने बोला था तुम्हें।
मेरे लिए तो चाय और अंडे बॉईल करने के लिए तुमने कभी कुछ किया ही नहीं है।
ओहो, और जो रात को नेटफ्लिक्स देखते देखते मैगी बना दो, ये किसे बोलती थी, मुझे या पड़ोस वाले गांवकर जी को?
एक मिनट, मैगी बनाना कोई कुकिंग नहीं होती।
मेहनत तो होती है ना बेबी, कोई नॉर्मल मैगी नहीं बनाता मैं।
पता है, अब शुरू मत हो जाना। प्याज छोटे छोटे काट के उसमें टमाटर, मटर, शिमला मिर्च और चीज, राइट?
और ओरेगानो, उसका असली स्वाद उसी का है, याद रखो। हो सकता है मैं कोरोना से निकल लूं और फिर तुम्हारा मैगी खाने का मन किया तो।
ओरेगानो कितना?
हाफ अ टीस्पून।
थैंक यू। चिनो, एक और प्रॉब्लम है।
क्या हुआ?
मेरी सिगरेट भी खत्म होने वाली है, लास्ट बच गया।
क्या मेरी भी।
अब
चाय की लत लगा लो।
ये क्या बात हुई? अगर अगले 24 घंटे में, सीरियसली अगर अगले 24 घंटे में सिगरेट अरेंज नहीं हुई ना, तो बस प्रॉमिस मैं जिंदगी भर के लिए सिगरेट छोड़ दूंगी, हमेशा के लिए।
है पक्का? योर टाइम स्टार्ट्स नाउ। बाहर नहीं जाना है, सी इफ यू कैन अरेंज अ सिगरेट। एक भी कर ली ना तो तुम जीती, पर अगर नहीं हुई तो यूल हैव टू क्विट। ठीक है, देखते हैं अब तुम्हारी सिगरेट की तलब बढ़ी है या स्मोकिंग छोड़ देने का प्रॉमिस। ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट।
बाय बाय चीनू।
बाय बाय पॉपी।
और सुनो ना, आई मिस यू।
मिस यू टू।
मास्क पहने बिना कहीं जाना मत।
हाँ ओके ओके, बाय
बाय।
आई होप इससे सिगरेट ना मिले।
All right, so there you go. You heard the conversation between two lovers. All right, we gave them very names who could be anybody, like Chinu and Poppy, and one of them was stuck in Delhi, one of them was stuck in Mumbai, and the beauty about this was every time people heard this, and when we put this out, rather than commenting on Chinu and Poppy, they were tagging each other. So the Chinus and the Poppies, they were tagging each other. The lovers, they were tagging each other, saying that, wow, isn't this, ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम हैं. So here you go. So you had something that was relatable and it worked for the people. We've had a lot of listens. We've had a lot of people, talking to us about this, and I'm glad that you liked it too. I'm getting a lot of people sending us messages. Gia Pandit is saying it's wonderful. Sonali is saying good stuff about it. Sampada says relatable and can see a clear picture. Gia Pandit is saying, is this man the creator of Mantra restaurant? No, Gia, I don't run the Mantra restaurant, although I've seen a lot of them. I've seen one which is somewhere on the Goregaon Andheri bridge के पास में. जब भी निकलता हूँ उस मंत्रा रेस्टोरेंट के वजह से आएंगे किसी दिन. But no, that's not the one. Ashutosh and Veer have joined in. Right. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we create. This is the kind of this is how audio works for us. And I don't know how many of you have really spent time listening to audio content. There's some great portals out there, guys, and some great shows. It's not only about M Talkies who's creating audio products. There are lots and lots of people and who are doing a tremendous job out there. I mean, you could log on to Spotify, to Audible Suno, to Savan, to Ghana. Friends of ours have opened a new portal called Earshot. There is so many other portals, Pocket FMs, Kuku FMs, who are aggregators who bring along podcasts from different mediums. If you want to be a podcaster yourself, you should definitely check out Anchor. It's a great app that you could use to be a podcaster yourself. My mentor, Mr. Roshan Abbas, he runs this beautiful thing called Commune, and Commune has been producing some of the most amazing content out there. So there's a lot of audio content. If you go and start consuming them, you would not only be a part of something which is fresh, something which is let me not say new, because the audio medium surpasses all visual mediums for a very very long time. But yes, it's happening, and people are spending a lot of time listening to books. Audio books is such a big thing nowadays. I mean, there have been a lot of readers. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who love to read but cannot read. कुछ होता है यार कि आप किताब उठाते हो लेकिन कभी खत्म नहीं कर पाते. And there are of course people जो किताब उठाते हैं तो रख नहीं पाते. There are two different kinds of people. But the ones who really want to read a book or listen to a book, they've been moving towards the world of audiobooks. And as visual is reading a book, it turns even more amazing when you're listening to it. Yeah, but a lot of old school people say that, no, man, we really prefer the old school way of reading a book. Good for you, sir. And but for those who really would like to give it a shot, I think audiobooks is a great space also. We could listen to. Before we move on, there is another question that has come in. Sonali says, can you explain small example how to make different voice and with switching feelings and sound according to that? I think I understand your question, Sonali. How to switch your emotions is all that you need to think about. I mean, if you are changing your emotions with your characters, your voice will automatically follow. I mean, your voice follows your heart. Your voice follows whatever you are feeling at that point of time. It's seamless. As an actor, one needs to do this. Technically, if you ever ask how to do this thing and how to switch gears, is then you just do a small workshop with your own self. Shut your ears, उंगली लीजिए कान के अंदर एकदम डालिए, एक वैक्यूम सा क्रिएट हो जाएगा. Yeah, like I'm right now wearing these headphones, I feel that vacuum. But that's not what I'm saying. It's a good example. It's a good workshop for you to do it also. Just put your fingers inside your ears. There'll be a vacuum, and when you speak, then you will be able to hear yourself. There's a vibration inside your head. Just the way आप कभी पानी के नीचे जाते हो, स्विमिंग पूल में कभी सोचा आपने नीचे गए and वहां पर अगर आप थोड़ा सा भी ऐसा करते हैं, you almost feel the vibration. That's when you start listening to the sound from within. When you do that, that's when you should practice or keep a script in front of you and try reading it. You yourself will understand the lows and the highs of your speech, and you will know how to switch them. And over the period of years, I've learned one thing, that the more you read, the more you speak, you'll be able to understand how to use your vocabulary, how to use your speech in different ways. So, yeah, that's a small workshop that maybe you can do. But here we are, talking about characters and how we build characters in different kinds of characters in our thriller series, Bhaskar Bose, and even others. We spoke about our antagonist, Biplav, and he's such a big hit. So I thought that maybe I'll play a small portion from Bhaskar Bose. This was an episode called Meet Me Soon. And is this the last sequence? The, the parallel scene, the initial scene. Oh, so that's the scene where Bhaskar Bose has received a letter, a mysterious letter. And he's reading the letter and trying to understand what's happening. And he finds out that this other guy, Biplav, he's planning to rob a bank, and he is digging a tunnel under the bank. Now, imagine, this was a tough scene for us to produce also. Bhaskar Bose sitting, deciphering the letter that he has received. And somewhere else, in another world, Biplav is digging a tunnel to reach the bank. Listen to this and figure out yourself how the mind starts painting pictures for you. I'm going to switch off the camera so that you can enjoy the theater of the mind.
Meet me soon. अब तो मिलना ही पड़ेगा. Meet me soon. Who wants to meet me? Think, Bhaskar, think. कोई तो है जो तुम तक पहुंचने की कोशिश कर रहा है. कौन है ये? पहले दूध के पैकेट पे पर्ची, फिर बिकेश दा को वो लेटर पुलिस स्टेशन में मेरे नाम से, यानी मेरे और बिकेश दा के कनेक्शन को जानता है. पेंसिल का है. फिर न्यूज़पेपर पे हाईलाइटेड ये वर्ड्स, ये महज इत्तेफाक नहीं हो सकते. मिल्क पैकेट, लेटर, न्यूज़पेपर, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा.
और मैडम को बोलना कि डेट तो सही लिखा करे.
यस, कहाँ है लेटर? 9th of September. ये तो आज की डेट है. लेटर पोस्ट किया होगा तो आने में 2 दिन तो लगे होंगे. कोई मुझे 2 दिन पहले आज की डेट में लेटर क्यों लिखेगा? Something is going to happen. It's going to happen today. पर्ची 1, लेटर 1, न्यूज़पेपर्स इतने सारे क्यों? कुछ तो कॉमन है इन न्यूज़पेपर्स में. Oh my God.
बोका भास्कर.
14th April, बैंक रॉबरी. 21st of August, बैंक रॉबरी. 1992 का न्यूज़पेपर, बैंक रॉबरी. हर अखबार में रॉबरी की न्यूज़. रॉबरी इज द ओनली कॉमन थिंग.
भास्कर, एक बड़ी इडियट.
इसका मतलब एक और रॉबरी हुई है. नहीं, दिस पर्सन वांट्स मी टू स्टॉप दिस बैंक रॉबरी. ही इज चैलेंजिंग मी. ये सारे क्लूज हैं रॉबरी रोकने के लिए. यस, ऑफ कोर्स. आज की डेट मतलब 9 सितंबर को बैंक रॉबरी होगी, लेकिन किस बैंक में? रॉबरी का क्लू न्यूज़पेपर में, डेट का क्लू लेटर में, तो फिर ये मिल्क पैकेट वाली पर्ची. इस पर्ची पे तो मीट मी सून के अलावा कुछ नहीं
Hey, Bhaskar, you couldn't stop me.
Yes, दूध का पैकेट. कहाँ गया वो पैकेट? टनल ब्रांड मिल्क. टनल बैंक रॉबरी. टनल बैंक रॉबरी मेक सेंस, लेकिन बैंक का नाम क्या है? Bank of Junagadh opens its new branch at Vashi. ये मिल्क पैकेट भी आता है मैन्युफैक्चर्ड एट जूनागढ़. मतलब कि 9 सितंबर को वाशी के बैंक ऑफ जूनागढ़ में रॉबरी होगी थ्रू टनल. ओह शिट.
There you go, guys. Creating pictures with audio. Now, as you can clearly see, this was it's almost like a parallel scene running. One is where Biplav is digging through the tunnel, and the other way where Bhaskar is trying to decipher the message. And a lot of people have, once you get invested into the story, you start understanding a lot more. But the task for any voice actor in the field of audio dramas is to paint pictures and to make the person see what he is seeing through the field of audio. We created this wonderful series. It's one of my favorites, Kali Avaze, which is available on Audible Suno. And there was a particular scene where the protagonist was at this haunted fort. And Bhangar Kila ke baare mein aapne suna hoga. In fact, the entire series was based on one of the 10 most haunted locations of India and our stories around it. So, in this particular series or in this particular story, our characters, Akash, reaches Bhangar and they are camping in the night over there. और रात को उस कैंप में जहाँ चारों तरफ दूर दूर तक कोई नहीं है, he starts dreaming about the little girl and a baby lamb. I mean, who he had met a few minutes back. जो बस एक ही चीज कह रहे थे, मुझे घर जाना है, मैं कई सालों से यहाँ पर फंसी हुई हूँ. And when he goes to sleep, उसके मन में he starts dreaming, and we created that dream sequence. So I would like you to hear that, and maybe you get the hang of how to create such elements of horror into people's mind. I know if Rohini would be listening to me right now, she would be switching off the speakers because she's one girl who I know who cannot stand horror. So Rohini, fingers inside your ears. Maybe help yourself. Listen to this. We're taking you to Bhangar.
समीरा किधर हो? रोहित, समीरा, कोई है? गाइस,
भैया भैया यहाँ पे मुझे प्लीज घर ले चलो, मुझे यहाँ नहीं रहना. मैं आपके साथ चलूँ, मैं आपके साथ ही रहूँगी. मुझे आप
प्लीज प्लीज. कौन है? कौन है? कौन है? कौन है? कौन है? रोहित, समीरा.
So yeah, all right. So here we go. So different pictures, different genres. Somebody was asking a few minutes back about how different genres work on audio. So you heard bits of thriller, you heard bits of romance, you heard bits of horror. So genres don't really matter as much as telling your story matters. I mean, you can definitely go ahead and choose whatever you want to choose. If you want to tell a story, the world of audio is the best medium through which you can do. I know a lot of people say tell their tales through cinema, because cinema is one of the most beautiful forms of telling tales. Also, so is theater, but it is a great space to be in, and we at M Talkies really enjoy creating audio dramas, audio cinema, audio plays, whatever you want to call it. But it's something that I would want you guys to give it a shot. And if you haven't heard any of them right now, maybe you should try listening to them, and you will really thank me later. So enjoy yourself, guys. The world of podcast is here. You want to be a podcaster, go ahead and become one. You want to be a storyteller, go ahead. There's a great space for one to do it, and all you need is your mobile phone and get started. There are listeners out there, loads and loads of listeners out there. They're consuming this content. The audio medium is really on an upward streak when it comes to the digital form of radio or the world of podcast. So thank you so much, Kala Ghoda Festival, for inviting me on this platform. Like I said, I miss the real vibe. I miss being at the Kala Ghoda Festival and meeting all our wonderful friends, watching the most amazing performances, sometimes performing myself over there. So yeah, hoping that next year we all get together, and hoping that next year we'd be able to not only hear but see each other too. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much for joining in.